What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jennifer Rush. And we're back for the final track on the 1985 album Movin. Thank you again to Darren for sending me this 5-album compilation, and after this we'll be on to the middle of the 5 albums included. But the last track on the 1985 album Movin is Hero of a Fool, which there's something, not odd, but there's something a bit non-standard about that phrasing. If it was a fool and a hero, it would be more immediately understandable to me, the idea that someone could be brave and courageous but also be foolhardy. But hero of a fool, it's interesting. It sounds maybe like someone who is held up, not necessarily on a pedestal, but as an exemplar, but by doing that toward another person, the person who is thinking that way is revealing their folly, is revealing their lack of wisdom. And yet it still seems to be phrased about the person who is being held up as a hero. So it's just an odd little phrase that I don't quite know how to crack. I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Jennifer Rush. The track is Hero of a Fool, and it's the last tune on her 1985 album Movin'.
Sometimes a word is all it takes, and I'm back at the start. I crossed that line before and knew there was no return. Feelings seem to stay on my mind, visions of days gone by. Just the sound is all it takes for the memory of you. I wait there lying low, silence has taken a toll. Even though these feelings are strong, I know now you're never told. Tries to hold me back from making the turn. The closer that you get, I see what I've come to learn. Over and over again, caught up in make-believe. I see now, I finally see what came undone. It took some time for me to realize that in the end
beautiful tune, and I think a very appropriate one to end on. If it ended on a like really dancey track, I guess that works with the title of the album, Movin', but I feel like this gives us a very emotional and fulfilling end to the record. I will say the almost operatic meets gospel type of flavor of her voice mixed with the backing sonics. I like that synthesis. Again, it had a bit of a gospel feel, but some of her vocal delivery had that vibrato that I associate with operatic type singing. And lyrically, it's interesting. I feel like maybe the hero of a fool, it is actually concentrated in one person. It's the other person. But maybe she's saying that she's been foolish because, again, it took her a while to realize. She didn't know where it came undone before, but now she has a bit more perspective. And I like how she talked about going, past, she's crossed this line before, she's gone beyond this threshold. It sounds like an emotional event horizon past which, she's fallen into this cycle. I don't know clearly if this other person, assumably a guy, I'm making up words, assumedly or presumably, and then I smashed them into one. But I don't know if he's coming back around, but it sounds like she's aware now that she should have run. That, that's what she actually should have done instead of going back and back and back again. And so it sounds like maybe she's the fool and recognizes that, but if he's a hero of a fool, then maybe he's the exemplar of someone who has made her be foolish. So maybe, it's a bit of both, it feels like. But yes, it sounds like a person who has a lot of draw to her, with whom she has a long history, and all it takes is a song, a sound, some suggestion related to their past, and she can go back to those days gone by. And I suppose that's part of the danger, is that it always feels like it's one quick moment, one little reference point away from turning her emotions back to where she's been before. But it sounds like she's drawing a line now that she's not going to cross again, because she's aware of where this will probably lead. So again, I don't know if he's still around, but if he is, it feels like maybe her choice will be different this time. But yes, again, another song of hers that gets at those complicated emotions where maybe your logic in your brain and the feeling in your heart are at cross purposes, and you're even aware of it, but in some cases you're unable to reconcile how you're feeling with what you should do or should have done, which in this case sounds like running. So yeah, it's a very conflicted and powerfully emotional tune running in divergent directions. So I feel like, given the little bit that I've heard from her in terms of her lyrics and the types of songs she sings, which I don't know if all of them are hers, I believe there's been at least one or two covers along the way. In the moment I'm forgetting, apologies, but it feels like this is sort of the conceptual center of her songs on her records. This emotional confliction, emotional complexity, emotional inability to do what one thinks might actually be smarter, because sometimes your heart is leading the way and your brain is just along for the ride. So it seems fitting as an album ender for that reason, and as I said, for its more heavy ballad-like feel, which puts a nice softer curved ending to a more energetic and kinetic and sort of sharp-edged album with a lot of danceable tunes. So yeah, just a cool journey through it. The next album in the list is Heart Over Mind. So once again, I didn't even look at that before I started this, but what a fitting progression and another seeming confirmation of the types of thematic territories that she likes to work in. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you think. Big shout out to Darren once again, and I will see you next time. Peace.